the button.
Hit
See what happens.
the button.
I did it.
Hit the button. Hey, hit the button.
Are we
Hit
live?
the button. I have no idea.
Are
I
we?
assume.
So, I'm looking at the
There's
YouTube.
There's a delay.
It takes a while.
Yeah.
It's like a 30
YouTube
second
delay is
delay.
even worse than Twitch, I think.
Yeah. Are we live yet?
I don't.
I
No.
don't see anything.
It says waiting.
Waiting.
Oh,
Still
11 waiting.
Still says
Yep.
waiting?
Still says waiting. I don't think you pressed the right button.
I did, though. I pushed it. Maybe I didn't push the right button to stream on this.
Oh boy. Oh jeez.
You know, you scheduled it. I'll bet you.
What?
What?
I'll bet you were live,
Yeah.
but not in the scheduled live stream.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
we are. We're live at a different URL.
Live
Oh, are
at a
we?
Different URL?
So the scheduled live stream's not going to work.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Let's.
Cambot's here.
Oh wait. Yep. There it is.
I'm gonna.
Live stream.
Hey, look at that. Yeah, it is. There's 4 people watching.
Look at this. Oh, and you can see us all lined up.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone has it instead of that switching back and forth between
not
us.
gonna do that.
It's just all three of us constantly.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Is the world ready for this, Phil?
So when Greg is talking, I can't pick my nose in peace.
Well, you can.
Right.
You just have
Did
an
my
audience.
camera freeze? My camera.
No.
Apparently.
I see you moving.
You see me
I
moving?
see you
Okay.
I do.
Yeah,
I see you
I see
moving
you
right
moving.
I
there.
don't see me moving on.
You go, woo!
I don't see me moving on YouTube.
That's true. I don't see you moving on YouTube either.
Weird.
Oh, no. You're fine.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
This will be a still picture of CJ for the rest of the show.
Let me
Hi,
see
Jessica.
here.
Hi, Cambot.
Hey there, everybody.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Did we alert the scheduled?
No.
We probably should have put something in the chat.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Who's
we'll
going to do
mention
that?
You want me to do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Those poor dopes are sitting over there waiting
Chris looks like a ventriloquist.
for the scheduled
Chris looks
stream.
like he's getting Phil's butt.
Ugh.
God, your audio is bad.
Yeah, jumbling and mumbling, but never fumbling.
I guess.
Oh
it's
my
fine.
goodness, this is.
It's going to have to be.
What we got to do is we need to get it set up where there's someone waiting off Greg's camera, so I can kind of stick my arm out like this, and the arm comes in on Greg's side.
That would be good.
And gives him a
Here,
smack.
do it.
Wait,
Now
which way?
everybody's video is frozen.
Ah! Is this the right way, or do I got to go this way? Oh, here we go.
What's
Here we
happening?
go.
What's happening?
Oh, is this the right way? I don't know. We really should have worked this gag out first. There we go.
Well, the problem is that it's
The problem.
There's
all
all
sorts-
There you go.
the problem is that our screen or my screen is actually different from the ones on YouTube.
Yeah.
right.
On my screen, I'm on the right, and on YouTube, I'm in the middle.
Am I aiming in the right direction?
Yes.
Okay. So
Hang on.
okay. Yeah. There we go. Beautiful.
Is it working now?
Who cares? Who cares? Greg and I just came up with the best visual gag
On the planet.
Discord has ever seen.
It's true.
Discord that cord.
All
Which chord?
chords.
All the chords are cording.
Okay, I think we're ready.
Whew.
We're ready to start this thing.
I do not think we're ready, but here we are.
We're gonna try it.
Mm.
If it works,
Okay.
great. If it doesn't, we're throwing this episode out, redoing it.
Oh, come on.
All right.
It is laggy, yeah. Sorry about that.
It is laggy. You know what? You're getting this for free.
Wow.
Deal with the lag.
Free.
Phil's comments do not reflect the feeling of the Player One podcast.
That's right.
Yeah. Their feelings are even worse. They said swears. When,
Is your wife going to come in and start earning money while we're on the?
Probably. I hope so.
Wait, what?
Someone's got to,
Oh, I
right?
can
What?
see your desk back there.
I know. Yeah, I share an office with my wife now. Let's talk about this. Show.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Start the show
All right.
then. Jesus.
are we?
Hello and welcome to episode 665 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, August 6th, 2019. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Just here, check this out. Ready?
Well, I didn't hear a word of that.
This is exciting.
Oh, there it is. Wait, oh my gosh. Oh, Greg
The
is
standing
shrinking.
desk.
Greg is shrinking. Oh no.
How did this happen?
What is happening? Oh,
There's a sinkhole in Greg's house.
oh,
Hello up there.
the people just listening to this have no idea what's happening.
I'm gonna do the show like this.
But from our vantage point, dear listeners, Greg Seward just sunk
He
Yep.
did.
about 3 feet.
That's right.
He's
It's
down
like-
to my height now. Finally, I can face him man to man, eye to eye.
Yes.
Greg got a standing desk. Everybody.
That's right. As we
Pretty
learned
exciting.
from Greg's Twitter account.
Yep.
Apparently, it has a
Automatic.
little motor, so you
It's not a
can
magic.
make it go up and down.
Magic. Yes.
It's a
You know,
touch
our-
panel too. It's cute.
At work, we have those kind of desks at work,
Oh, do you?
and
We're
it is.
Use them all the time.
we're getting them soon, I think.
I never stand at my standing desk at work because I am profoundly lazy.
Mm-hmm.
But the tragic part is, at least on our desks at work, the controls to raise and lower your desks are like right kind of on the corner of your desk.
Oh.
So if you're over, like if you go to a coworker's desk and you're standing there talking to them, and you just
Lean
kind of
up against
lean
them.
and you lean on their desk, your fingers kind of naturally
See?
fall right on the control panel. So it's very easy to
This has-
accidentally.
This is a glass top, and the control is a touch panel on the side
Oh, yeah?
corner. But there's a button around the side of the desk that if you press it, it locks it.
Oh. Okay.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
touching controls now, but nothing's happening.
I see. Interesting. I wonder if
Well,
our work desk
Because,
has
you
that.
know, unlike the Pokemon Company,
I didn't say where I work.
oh, sorry, unlike Adult Swim?
Yes, Adult Swim Games.
Right.
No, anyway,
Buy
This has a-
Headlander.
This has a
You
lock.
should.
You should
Why?
not
You don't
have
make any money off that game anymore.
I love that game.
That's how
You get-
the game is.
Should buy that game. It's
CJ
on,
chilling for it, even though he doesn't work there anymore.
that's right. It's on Xbox Game Pass. Everybody should download it and try it.
Oh, there you go. So we
Phil,
are. Should we? Yes.
I should say I did not welcome you from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Why
Hello.
would you?
Hello.
It's nice to see you.
Yes,
nice to
I'm
see you.
reaching across.
There you
we
are.
go.
Hello.
This
It
doesn't work at all.
We
It's
should
nice to-
say, as you were about
Yes.
to say, that we were trying a new streaming setup here.
Yeah, Google Hangouts is gone.
Google Hangouts is gone. They don't allow us to do what we used to
Google-
do anymore.
Google ran out of business.
Yeah,
They have no more money. They had to close down the doors.
they did.
Mixer hired everybody away.
So we're on Discord.
We're doing this through Discord and broadcasting on YouTube still
Oh yeah, we're still on YouTube.
Until we figure out something better.
until we figured out something better. So this is like a test run, and I should say I only started like trying to figure this out at 3 p.m.
But
Today.
you know what?
Where I'm from, that's almost 7 hours ago.
That's
That's 2 hours ago from here.
we do have some good news to announce though. You know, yeah, we're
We
on
do.
Discord this week, but my friends, I have some very exciting news.
What's that?
I don't know if you two wanted us to break this news right now, but I am very proud
Oh,
Oh.
and very excited to announce we have just struck a deal for all of our friends watching on YouTube.
Did you just put that hat on over your headset?
We
He
yeah,
did.
yeah, I did.
He
I
did.
did. I don't want to have to take off my headset for this stupid gag.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a mixer. I got a mixer hat. So
I like it. How did you get that mixer hat at E3 or something?
because we
Well,
struck
it was part of the deal.
Oh, we
that was
struck
the
a
Player
deal.
One
Phil
podcast.
negotiated the deal, and the deal is literally for us to have 3 mixer hats.
Well,
They
I mean,
offered-
that's also the reason that I moved to Washington, right? Is to be
Yeah.
closer to Mixer HQ.
Now we are not Ninja,
No.
of
Who
course.
is?
So we did not get his deal.
Yes.
But we did get 10 million each, plus a hat that we get to share between the three of us. So I have it this week,
Yeah.
and
I'm not putting that hat on after I wear it.
That'll come in very handy during PAX
come
West.
Friday, I will be mailing it to CJ, and then CJ will have it for the next week, and then he will mail it over to Greg.
Well, I'll be there.
Yeah,
in a few
I'll just wait
weeks,
till he's
so.
here.
The deal we struck was it has to be mailed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Turn
there you go.
down Phil, Jeff Grubb says.
You know what, buddy? You know what, Jeff?
If that is your real name.
Man.
Jeff Grubb's my favorite fan.
It's true.
Right now.
I can't click.
Grubb.
I can't click on Phil.
Just so you know, Jeff, CJ didn't even know Discord existed until 2 hours ago.
That's not correct.
So he doesn't know how to use it.
Well, yeah, Phil didn't. Yeah, Phil didn't.
I did. I had it on my telephone.
Jessica's my favorite fan, by the way.
Cell phone, telephone.
But yeah, I had it on my cell phone telephone.
Okay.
And then I said, "How do I get this on my computer?" And Chris said, "Download the app."
I did say that.
Meanwhile, I'm thinking if it's on a computer, it's called a program.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you said download the app, I was like, oh my god, get out of the cult.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
seriously.
You don't call that apps?
If they're on a
Oh.
computer, it's a program.
Windows 10 apps.
No, you know what? No, I
An
don't.
application.
No.
It's an application,
I don't
not a
go in for that.
program. What is this,
Ugh.
I was going
Tron?
for that foolishness.
What is this,
Yeah.
Tron?
We should do this whole thing on MIRC.
We should. All right.
Yeah.
What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, we're doing this new setup, and that's all great. Reminder: we're gonna be at PAX West coming up.
Oh,
here
right.
in a couple of weeks.
That's true.
For Labor Day weekend. And
Yes.
as it gets closer, we'll set up something like a time and place to meet up. In case folks want to say hi, and I'll bring along some Player One podcast pins because I still have some of those.
Oh,
So that'll be
those
fun.
were leftovers from the ones you sent me.
Leftovers.
Phil's letting me sleep in his house, so I'm going to be sleeping right in between him and his wife.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yes, accurate.
I got some.
Why am I getting messages from Phil while we're?
I'm testing it out. I'm testing out the
Meanwhile,
functionality.
I'm clicking on it, and people can see that you said fart. I just clicked it. Phil says fart.
I'm testing the functionality
Sure you are.
of Discord.
With
Just want to make sure.
messaging fart. All right. So yeah, Ninja. We were talking about Mixer. Ninja has gone. Ninja,
Yeah.
of course, the famous,
World famous streamer.
Fortnite streamer on Twitch has switched services. He is now exclusive to Mixer, which is of course Microsoft's Twitch competitor.
Yes.
And wait a second, I'm not going to click on that.
What? I didn't send you anything. Yeah,
What?
that's Greg harassing you now.
It's Greg harassing me. Yeah. But the terms of the deal, I guess, $50 million going to Mr. Tyler Blevins.
I just want to call out that I would happily go to Mixer for like
half that.
5% of that.
No, just half that, dude.
No, trust me. I'm
you
not
are
getting half that.
terrible.
No, I'm not. I'm realistic is what I am.
I just want to say this real quick. I dug out because I have my bag of Player One pins that CJ sent me.
You're supposed to give those away, you know.
Well, I know, but I have no one to give them away
You can
to.
give them to friends and family and.
What's the point of hoarding them?
Do you
friends?
Do you have any?
I have a solid 2 friends, and they're right here. and even that, and one
shaky definition of friend.
And one of them is Jeff Grubb in the chat.
Yes.
So, you know what though? I just want to say this. I had them in CJ mailed them to me in a Ziploc bag, where the Ziploc bag has been sitting on my desk, and I picked it up just now, and the entire bottom of this bag just ripped open and the pins just fell out all over my desk.
Yeah.
CJ,
I didn't do it. I don't guarantee.
start buying the name brand.
I don't guarantee the quality of the bag. If you want to start a class action lawsuit against me?
These store brand
I believe the
sandwich
brand
bags.
was. I believe the brand was Riplock. Isn't that what?
Riplock.
Riplock. Anyway,
Riplock.
so Mixer is where you'll find your ninja fix. I don't watch.
There you
Ninja.
go.
I know.
And of course,
I know that.
I know that a good chunk of that $50 million is going to the developers who work on the game he uses to make his money, right?
Yes.
No.
Okay, good.
No. Not at all. But speaking of money, you like money, don't you? There's a little game
I don't know. I don't have any.
called Crash Team Racing that has added real money microtransactions, or they're planning to anyway, with the next update. So you'll be able to spend real money to buy in-game currency that you can then use for various cosmetic items, skins, and such. And so you can earn those coins
in the game otherwise.
The game as well, but you can also buy them. So
I don't have an issue with that.
No issue with that either. It's not any sort of game breaking.
My bigger issue is I keep hearing that game is the difficulty is kind of all over the place.
Ramps up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's a bigger problem. Let me spend $5 to fix that.
Yeah. I'm still waiting on the next Mario Kart. I didn't.
Me too.
I mean, CTR was a good game, but I'm not really a huge.
CTR was a good game if you didn't own an N64 and couldn't play. Yeah, I don't mean that to say that it was a bad game otherwise, but it was beloved because it was the closest you could get to something like a Mario Kart.
Yeah.
That I mean, and I say that I'm a big fan of Sonic Racing Transformed.
Sure.
And that was great. I really enjoyed that game. But then, earlier this year, I ended up going back and playing that very close to around the same time that I played Mario Kart 8 with a bunch of people on my Twitch stream.
Yeah.
They don't compare. I mean, Sonic Racing Transformed is really good, but it's not Mario Kart.
Yeah.
They're not balanced nearly as well. So
no, that is true.
Well, all right.
Yes. In other news, there's another game that's perfect for Switch coming to Switch.
Christopher.
Yeah.
All games are perfect for Switch.
I read that on the
internet.
All games. It's true.
All games.
It's
Virtual Cop, perfect for Switch.
Yeah, sure.
Tennis for Two, perfect for Switch.
Sure.
What
else you got?
The Most Dangerous Game.
What about Panty Party? Is Panty Party for Switch or?
Panty Party is definitely perfect for Switch, but I'm holding off for a physical release.
Of course.
That game may have a physical release. I don't know.
Well, the game.
I know who we could ask.
The game that kicked off Microsoft's E3 showcase this year, The Outer Worlds, from Obsidian Entertainment, has been announced for the Nintendo Switch. It was announced over social media, Twitter, and a company called Virtuos is doing the port, and they have done a bunch of Switch ports previously, like Dark Souls, L.A. Noire, Final Fantasy 12, so it'll probably be pretty good. But
they clearly know their stuff.
Coming out not at the launch of the Xbox and PC version, but at some time later. So it would be nice, especially since
on Switch that could be anywhere from 3 months to 12 years.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's could be 10,000 years. We don't know.
I do.
There's a lot of time. One could argue that there is infinite amount of time after the launch of the Xbox version.
Where humans will still be on the planet?
Well, I didn't say that.
No.
I didn't say that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
what are you, crazy?
But computers the way they are nowadays, they can set it up to release whenever they want.
It's true.
Yeah.
Technology. We've reached so many great heights with technology. and silicone.
Silicone, yeah.
Silicone.
You know,
I've
there's a
heard
lot
some
of
fights with silicone.
there's a lot of infrastructures that can be refragged.
I'm going to say, so this port of the Outer Worlds, I'm excited about it because I'm excited about the Outer Worlds just in general. But one thing that I would really love to see happen is with these ports from, especially from companies that are now first-party Microsoft, because Obsidian got bought by Microsoft.
Right.
Would be to have some way to connect to Xbox Live to sync game progress between Switch and
that would be
Xbox.
Fantastic.
Because the Outer Worlds obviously is a big RPG, you know, sort of in the vein of a Fallout game, and I will definitely want to play it portably, but I would also appreciate being able to have my progress carry over for the times that I want to play it in 4K on the Xbox or on the PC, right?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Cool.
It'll never happen, but it makes sense.
I mean, at this point, never say never, right? Because you have Microsoft first-party studios at this point announcing Switch ports.
Well, did you know Sonic the Hedgehog is on Nintendo systems these days?
I know, exactly. Nothing is
Man,
crazy.
If it wasn't going to make a huge mess, I was going to do a spit take right there. It was like perfect timing. They can shoot up my nose.
Outer Worlds is fine and all, but I always prefer Twilight Zone.
That's not Outer Limits.
I'm pretty sure that's
no.
You know,
no.
It's a cookbook. They intend to cookbook us. That's the Twilight Zone. You ever see that? The Twilight Zones?
I have. Yeah, I love the Twilight Zone.
There's a cookbook on the wing of the plane, but my glasses are broken, so I can't see it.
Something on the wing.
It's my favorite John Lithgow moment.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
and that's our show for this week. Thanks for tuning in.
News. There really wasn't
our great Discord experiment.
I don't feel like there was any news there, but okay.
There wasn't any. Well, I mean, there was news. There was news there. You want to talk about EA dissing the Switch?
Not at all.
No.
What did they said?
It isn't really a diss. So
they were just like, who cares? Isn't that what they said? Pretty much.
It wasn't, who cares? But I think a lot of Nintendo fans took it that way.
That's what they were saying Nintendo fans feel.
I mean, you could look at a company like Ubisoft, and if you take away things like Gods and Monsters and Mario plus Rabbids and the few like ports they brought, like Assassin's Creed, their big stable of games, The Division 2, Rainbow Six Siege, Assassin's Creed, Odyssey, like those games are not coming to Switch yet. What I'm really looking for, and I wonder if their positioning is similar to what EA is saying, where like the big budget games people want on a different console. I mean, I wonder if they would say the same thing, even though Ubisoft is supporting the Switch very well.
Right.
Would their reasoning that they tell an investor call, which is what this is from, would they say the same or a similar thing? I mean, obviously Ubisoft, is doing Rabbids and Gods and Monsters and all that stuff, but they're not doing their big stuff.
Didn't EA wasn't this quote all about their sports games, or was it for
I don't think
in general?
So. No, it was just in general, and in fact, Andrew Wilson brought up The Sims as one of the games.
I feel like The Sims would be huge on the Switch.
I feel like it would be too, but I think the problem is probably some of the historical times that EA has supported Nintendo platforms is probably coming back on Switch support, really, because EA has supported Nintendo platforms in the past and it hasn't really gone all that well for them. So maybe they have a point. I mean, I know that it's, as Nintendo fans, it's very easy to get upset by what's being said, but I have a ton of games to play on the Switch.
and for what it's worth, not that this technically applies here, but data, EA's got plenty of experience making games to work on lower hardware.
I agree with that jumbled mess.
I agree with that roboting that just happened.
All right.
Greg made a very valid point that I'm sure he heard.
When you hear it on the recording, you'll be amazed.
Yeah. God, I hope that it's being recorded. Let's just hope.
Oh, Discord, you are
this-
wonderful. You know what though? I think
you screwed us,
I think-
Google. You screwed us.
I think what Greg was trying to say, and I'm sure he would agree with me on this, is that EA stuff was always better on the Genesis anyway.
Yes.
That's exactly.
Right?
Especially Haunting starring Poltergeist.
Exactly. I knew if I brought up the Genesis, I would get CJ to mention Haunting starring Poltergeist.
Let's make that for Switch. Perfect for Switch. Haunting starring Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. I think that means it's time to switch over to what you've been playing. You like that? No?
what you been playing? What you been playing? What?
You really
What?
got to come up with a better
What
Better
you
thing.
been
for
playing?
that. Phil, you want to tell us about
Yes?
what you've been playing?
Not really. I haven't played CJ. CJ, this has been a
Whoa,
bad week.
What even is this
CJ,
episode? What even
This
is
episode, you know what? This episode is us. This is us charging our energy
Mm-hmm.
for the unleashing of evil and darkness
the
next week
unleashing of the beast.
on episode.
I
Oh my
heard
god!
none of that.
There it is. There it is. Discord,
None of
man.
that.
Discord. Why?
I don't know what's happening there, Greg, but I heard.
Oh, sweet Juniper, man.
You want to hang up and come back?
No.
No, I don't. Who, me?
I'm Greg, and I heard that no loud and clear. By the way,
Can I hang up and not come back?
No, you cannot.
Okay.
Cannot.
And this week, man, just
What about it?
we just
We
let's
just do a
not even.
do-over.
I just want to redo this whole week, man. I have not played much at all. You know what I've been playing? I've been playing. Speaking of evil and darkness, I've been playing Devil Pacross or whatever it's called. Lord of the
Me
Pacross,
too.
Lord of the
It's
Dance.
Lord of the Nazarick.
That's the one. That's the Nazarick. Based on the popular anime, The Overlords.
Nope.
I think you mean Japanimation.
The hot new from
The popular Japanimation Overfiend.
yes. I've been playing some of that.
Oh, you heard that.
I did hear you bet I heard that. If anyone mentions Overfiend, I'm right on top of it. If you know what I mean.
You put your tentacles in.
That's a lot of tentacles to cover.
You know. I played a little bit of that. And honestly, I've been watching television mostly this week. Yeah.
Phil, what are you watching? What you been
Oh, well,
watching?
here we go.
Let's get into it.
So Netflix dropped season 3 of the new She-Ra cartoon.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
And believe you me, we binged that. There's only 6 episodes. We did it all in one shot. It was fantastic.
Nice.
That She-Ra show?
Yeah, it's good.
That She-Ra show's actually pretty good.
I
I've
did
enjoyed it.
purchase Gravity Falls upon your recommendation. I have
Good lad.
not watched
It's a good
any
show.
of it, but I
Good
have
lad.
purchased it.
You should totally sit down and watch that with the kid.
Yeah.
She will get a kick out of it. And you live in the region of the country,
I do. It's true.
roughly whereabouts that show takes place. So you are, watch that show and then go on a drive up and down the Pacific Northwest looking for
Okay.
tourist traps and
Gravity Falls.
Bigfoots and such.
Sure. That sounds fun.
You know what else I've been watching?
What?
Which I have not seen. Somehow this show passed by me. I did not see this show back when it first aired, but I'm finally sitting down and watching Flight of the Conchords.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, did you ever see that show?
I have. I love Flight of the Conchords. I've seen them live actually.
Oh, have you really?
I have. Yes.
Oh, you're a lucky ducky. Let me tell you, you're a lucky ducky. We just finished season 1 of 2. So
1 of 2, and then they're doing a movie apparently.
are they really?
They are, yeah.
Oh, look at that, man! I'm excited to hear that.
And then they, if you've not seen what we do in the shadows,
I think I've told you to watch What We Do in the Shadows, haven't I?
did you? No,
I don't know. Maybe I absolutely adore What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay, have you seen the TV series?
You know what? Of course, I've seen that TV. Come on, man.
Great. It's great.
That's a
liked
What
it.
We Do in the Shadows TV. The TV show is top shelf. I have to admit, I was somewhat skeptical about the TV show because I love the
Yep.
movie so much,
Yep.
and I was like, I was a little skittish about. Oh, there's no way they can
Top
they
that.
can well they can stretch this out into a TV series
Yep.
and kind of keep the gag going. Man, that's good stuff. That's a good show. So anyway,
I agree.
but yeah, I've been playing that that Picross game,
Mm-hmm.
and
Lord
I
of
just
the Magic.
that's the one.
Yeah.
And I haven't had much time to play anything else.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I've been feeling the urge to go back and play though lately?
What's that?
I almost did this last night. I want to go back and play Lego City Undercover again.
Game sucked.
You know, my daughter
suck.
pops in and
Your
out
dumb
of Lego
face.
City Undercover every now and again.
Yeah.
And that's
a really
fun video game.
It's a really good game. It's a really good game. I played through it on because that was Wii U originally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I did pick it up on Switch.
I did too because it was super cheap at one point.
It really was. Yeah. It was like
I have to buy it now.
$10-15 or something ridiculous like that at some point. And I picked it up around that time as well.
Yeah.
And I've been meaning to play through it again just because that's a great game. And did you ever beat it?
I did.
I mean, the end. Did you really?
I finished it. Yes.
Holy free holies. That's odd, right?
For you. I know.
I mean, it's odd for me too at this point, but it's really odd.
But the ending of that game is fantastic.
Right?
Yeah. We talked about it on the show back when that game came out.
You know what prompted me? I was looking at the Resetera the other day, and it may have even been yesterday. But there was a thread about
apparently it's on Game Pass too.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, download that, you fools!
Yeah, seriously.
I saw a thread about last levels in video games that have like really epic music.
Yeah.
And stupidly enough, the first thing that popped into my mind was Lego City Undercover because it's a dumb Lego game. It's a dumb, silly little Lego game.
Yep.
But for some reason, the last level, and I don't want to spoil what happened. I mean, we probably talked about it years ago.
I think we did.
But the last level of that game goes full blown epic, just like action movie, and you get like this kind of operatic music playing as you do this final level, and it's so cool. It's so much fun. And it got me itching to play it again. So mayhaps I might.
And on the Switch there, it's 2 players simultaneous. You can play it with.
Oh, is it really?
You can play it with.
I could play with him. He does enjoy the Lego games. So, yeah. He's still going on at the Mario Maker, man.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And people have been leaving some nice comments for him.
That's cool.
People have been playing some of his stages and leaving nice comments. So it's very nice, very sweet.
That's awesome.
But that's really all I've been playing / watching.
All right. Well, as you can see from the live stream and the fact that we're doing a live stream at all, we got our stuff.
We did
on Friday.
We being
me and my family. The job.
Right.
Received our stuff, of course, on Friday.
How'd that go?
It went fine, actually. They didn't. I was worried that things would be broken. I was very worried because I bought this gaming PC, and because I didn't want to build it myself, I bought one of those like prefabbed things they have on Newegg. And because PC gaming is all about LED lights and crazy cases and things, this thing is a tempered glass shell around this thing. And, and I didn't watch them pack it when we moved, and I was like, this thing, it's going to arrive in like 5,000 pieces, right?
Yeah.
But it didn't. They used my many amiibos as padding for the PC. They like wrapped the amiibos in paper and put them around the PC. It actually worked really well.
Is that a gag, or are you serious?
I am completely serious.
Really?
Serious. They wrapped it up, put my amiibos in paper, and that's how my PC was padded.
Well, there you go.
It worked. It didn't come shattered, and everything.
And it didn't destroy the amiibo.
They did not destroy the amiibo.
And the amiibo are all great.
Yeah, the amiibo are great. And I was finally able to get back on the seas after...
Oh, good. We want to hear about that.
After 4 weeks away, and play Sea of Thieves. And of course, they had started a new event, and they're doing monthly events now. So I'm like 3 weeks behind on the monthly event.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay.
Are you okay?
I'm
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I
Is
am
this?
okay.
good.
I mean, do you need to talk to someone?
I have already.
I mean,
Yes.
Your best friend Mike told me everything's okay. So.
Yeah.
Everything's good. Yeah.
I'm not a professional, but I'm here if you need to talk this out.
Sure.
I'm glad to see your cat tree survive.
You like the cat tree? This is actually a new cat tree.
Oh,
Yeah, because that was there last week, wasn't it?
This was here last week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because
See, I pay attention.
yeah, we have this little window here, and there's a nice little window sill, and one of our cats napped on it and it was sleeping on it and fell off.
It fell off.
We were like, we have to get a cat tree that is about the height of the windowsill here, so that the cat can slumber and not hurt itself.
Alternatively,
you
could get a cat that's not an idiot.
Wow.
But
wow.
Wow.
Have you considered that?
I don't want to have.
I hate cats, and I wouldn't even say that.
I don't want to get a cat like the one that you have, Phil. I wanted my own.
Hey, you leave Moxie alone. Moxie is a sweetheart, and we love her dearly.
Yeah.
So how dare you?
But
how dare you?
So yeah, Jellybean and Kit Kat sleep up there. So
oh, that's adorable.
Cats have the best names.
Yes. I didn't name them. The Charlotte named them. I know people are like, why?
I would have believed it if you'd named them.
Why'd you pick Android code names as your cat names? Because Android.
Because Android code names are stupid.
Were those both those are both Android
both
things?
Android operating system.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
what do you
Android OS names are kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't even know what they're on now.
Well, because CJ is famously a big Android supporter.
I am,
right?
Clearly,
yeah.
Yes, you know me so well. So
yeah,
but so our stuff got here on Friday, and then I unpacked a bunch of it, and hopped on Sea of Thieves immediately, of course, after downloading.
I can picture that whole scene.
Yeah.
The Xbox gets plugged in. The house is half unpacked. And your wife continues to unpack while you play Sea of Thieves.
Bingo. No, I actually yesterday got a pass from her. She said, because the time zone of the people in my crew are
for God's sake
different, that she said in the morning I could play and then do some unpacking later. I was like, this is why I married you.
Oh
this
boy.
right here. She's very understanding.
She's a wonderful lady.
Of my gaming habit.
She's a wonderful lady.
That's right.
That's beyond understanding of your gaming habit, just so you know. That's way beyond the, hey, why don't you go play some video games for a little while? That's way beyond that.
I am aware.
You do not deserve.
I really don't, right?
Nope.
No.
I don't. No. So and the only hiccup has been that I've plugged everything back in. So like the Xbox and the Switch and my PC and everything are plugged back in, but the PS4. So I plugged my PS4 Pro back in, and it brings up the screen, the safe mode screen, like it's redoing the it's like analyzing the hard drive.
Yeah, rebuilding the
database, whatever. It comes up. That comes up on the TV just fine. This is the same TV it was on back in Atlanta. And it says that it's going to reboot after it completes the process. Okay.
Yeah.
As is the process.
Right.
It reboots, starts flashing white, and then like beeps 3 times and does nothing. So I have no idea.
That's not good.
First of all, I googled the problem. I googled that exact thing, like beeping twice and white light. And nothing helpful comes up at all. So I have no idea what's wrong. Various people have given me, like, maybe it's the hard drive going bad, or the AC adapter might be bad, or something like that. So I have no idea, or the HDMI cable might be bad. I'm going to have to like diagnose this thing as if
turn it upside down.
There's no WebMD for the PS4.
Did you?
WebMD would just tell you your PS4 has cancer anyway.
With the two fast beeps and the white light. What does that mean exactly? Even Sony's support site doesn't say. So
Did you try unplugging it and
I did.
plugging it back in?
I did, yes, several times.
Okay.
Yes.
Well.
But anyway, so that's the only system that doesn't seem to want to work.
Well, that's good because that's the system that doesn't have Sea of Thieves on it. So
That's true.
Oh.
That's a good point.
You're in luck.
I'm in luck. Yay! But I do want to play some PS4 stuff. But anyway, I've also been playing a bunch of Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Yeah?
I posted a bit about it on Twitter. So my daughter's been playing it as well, and we're like, she's nearing the end of the first island, but she has like basically built this crazy intricate city around the first area of the game.
Oh.
Using her Minecraft skills. She's been like building towers and stuff because
Yeah.
she plays a lot of Minecraft, and she's been playing in first person, which I can't do because it makes me sick. It gives me the motion sickness. But so she's now waiting for me to catch up to her so that I can help her with the puzzle that she's stuck on. So, but still having a lot of fun with it. Dragon Quest Builders 2 is just a gem of a game, and people should not let that pass. I've also started playing this game called the Blackout Club. This is a co-op horror game, and the story of it is you are a group of teenagers who live in this zone that doesn't have internet access, doesn't get cell phone access.
That doesn't sound like a horror game.
And every night, like, their city reboots or like something happens, and they're trying to figure out what it is. And the game has a prologue where you play as the main character, and then at the end of the prologue, spoiler alert, the character dies. And then the co-op part is you're a group of her friends trying to figure out what happened to her, and then also like get the information about the town out to the media. And the idea of it is it's a procedurally generated mission structure where you can play it repeatedly and have different missions in the neighborhood, like different things that you have to do. So it's just a really interesting structure, and I really want to play more of it co-op. It sounds really interesting. It sounds kind of like a Hello Neighbor, but with a horror bent on it. And that is something that I like.
Okay.
Anyway, that means, Greg, that you're up.
Hi. Oh, wow. Okay. You can hear everything I'm saying. I picked up Tempest 4000 for my PS4.
Physical?
Really?
Physical, yeah. It's like $10.
I don't think they put it. If they have put it on sale digital, I haven't been alerted to it. But I really want to.
Price.
It's not a regular price, $10. It's like digital. It's like 30.
Well, no. That's why I said, what's the regular price?
30.
Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you there.
I know. That's why I repeated myself.
Okay.
Amazon. The website Amazon.
I am aware of it.
Yeah. .computer on your PC. They have it for $15 American.
Oh, that's pretty expensive.
So if you
I paid $10 Canadian for it.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Which is like 75-80 cents for us.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. CJ's looking it up. CJ's looking up to see if the digital version's on sale.
No.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
You should, because you would love this. I know you're a big Tempest 2000 fan. So anyway, this is just, it feels like a slightly upgraded Tempest 2000.
Is it twice as good?
I'm down with that, though.
Yeah, which I'm all for.
Because the game TXK that Jeff Hunter also put out,
yes,
was very much like an upgraded Tempest 2000. That was exactly what I wanted on the Vita. And,
right.
I've heard that this is about like that.
You guys remember the Vita?
I do remember the Vita.
That's collecting dust right over there.
Vita was a great system. Anyway.
It was okay. Anyway, I've only played it a little bit, but I mean, like, to the point that the opening levels are the same as the opening levels on Tempest 2000.
Oh, really? Tempest 4000, $29.99 on digital.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
It's 100 levels. It's just sort of got all new music, and the effects are a little nicer, and the resolution's way higher than the Jaguar or the PlayStation 1.
What about the Saturn version? What about
Well, nothing's better than the Saturn version.
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
Don't forget who you're talking to. But yeah, no, it's really, and if you're in Canada, at least, or in the apparently it's $15 in the US, but EB is selling it for $10 in Canada right now.
That's a pretty good
Physical
price.
copies.
That's a good price.
So yeah, that's a no-brainer price. So I highly recommend that. I also started playing Detroit Become Human because that is one of the free games on PlayStation Plus this month, I believe.
I think it was
Gold or whatever.
Month.
Oh, is it? Okay, it was last month.
Yeah. It was
anyway,
free,
the reason
right.
I'm playing it is because sometimes fourth chair Mike Phillips played through it recently, and there was a suggestion of a spoiler cast. Were I to go in and play and finish it. So I decided to start playing it, and because the very first spoiler cast we ever did, I think, was for Heavy Rain. So it was another one of the Quantic Dream games. Yeah. So anyway, so this is a Quantic Dream game. And if you've ever played a Quantic Dream game before, you know what to expect here. You're just sort of walking around environments and sort of playing out the story by finding different things in the environment.
Seems like a video game.
Sure. But like you can really tell that they've just spent Quantic Dream has just spent the last 15 years polishing the same game type, the same game mechanic,
same style.
And boy, does it ever feel good in this game. And it's gorgeous. Oh my god, it's pretty. Although it's funny because it focuses on androids. I'm not going to get too much into the details of it because well, A, because I'm going to do a spoiler cast, and B, because I wouldn't want to ruin it for anybody, but it focuses on androids and an android population being used as tools, basically. But you play as the androids. At least so far, that's all I've played as. And it's funny because they look amazing in the game, and I find actually all the human characters don't. Which I don't know if they did that on purpose, or it's just that they spent more time on like the hero characters that you actually control.
Yeah.
But like the humans look less, to me, they look less realistic than the androids. So, because I don't know if that's actually a conscious choice on the part of the developers and the art director and things. But yeah, it's I really, really, really like it so far, and it's got Lance Henriksen in it.
Oh,
which is
very
cool.
nice.
Although when he first spoke, my first thought was, "My God, he sounds old," which he is. But it's just I haven't heard his voice in quite a while. It's like, holy God, man, you sound ancient. But it's still Lance Henriksen, so you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the name of the other actor that I recognized in it. I can't remember his name. I feel bad about it, but he was the villain in Highlander, and he was in Earth 2, and he was in Shawshank Redemption.
Don't recall.
Anyway,
Morgan Freeman.
That's it. Anyway, he's one of the main characters so far as well. So, really enjoying it so far, but I've only played about an hour and a half of it. But I'm going to try to focus on it and get it done so we can get a spoiler cast going, because that'll be fun.
Cool.
There you go.
Sounds good.
I'm trying to think what else I put on the list here. What else did I put on the list? Snatcher. Oh, I finished Snatcher on the MSX.
Wait, are you thinking of Clancy Brown?
Clancy Brown. That's who I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So he's a main character.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And it was so great when I met him. I was like, hey, that's that guy from Highlander.
Everything.
Clancy Brown is great. Clancy Brown also is the best Lex Luthor.
Ah, yes.
He was Lex Luthor
in the animated Batman.
He's the voice. Well, he's the voice of Lex Luthor in the Superman cartoon and the Justice League cartoons. And yeah.
Okay. Now that you're saying that, yes, I know. I think I did know that.
Yeah.
I know a lot about comics. I know that Lex.
He's got an amazing voice.
In Superman.
He's got an amazing voice.
Lex Luthor becomes the Joker. CJ.
Okay.
If you've ever read The Flash, you would know that.
I haven't.
Yeah. But luckily, he is defeated by the Infinity Gauntlet. So.
Okay.
Yep. It all
Don't
works
give away.
out. in the
Listen,
end.
you're giving away MCU Phase 6, so stop it.
It's true.
Giving away plot points.
Yeah.
So I played through Snatcher. I've been playing through Snatcher on the MSX too, the original. And the main reason I was doing it is because playing adventure games on Twitch on Monday nights, and that was kind of I've been playing sort of chronologically, and I hit 1988. That's when that game came out on the MSX. But I've always been interested to try it because big fan of the Sega CD version. Played through that a dozen times. Have it pretty much memorized. But I've always been interested to see what the differences are outside of the Naked Ladies. What the differences are in the between that and the MSX version. And so anyway, I played through it, and I was struck by two things. One, the Sega CD version actually took out a couple of really humorous elements from the game. And of course on that version, it was the visuals were censored because there are a couple times when you see naked women in the game. They took that out for the Sega CD version.
Humana.
Also, almost every time there's a woman on screen, you have the option to hit on her, or stare at her breasts, which they took out. And of course, they changed the age of one of the female protagonists because she was only 14.
This is a Kojima game, you say?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I see. Yes.
But the big thing for me is that so the Sega CD version, 3 chapters. And I knew that the original MSX version, stopped at the end of Chapter 2, and that Chapter 3 was created for the Sega CD and possibly PC Engine version of the game. But I never understood, I wasn't sure how that ended. I thought maybe the events of the third chapter, because the third chapter is largely just a long story scene in the Sega CD version. So I always wondered, was the MSX game, did it just sort of end at that second chapter and wrap everything up and we're done? But no, it ends on a complete cliffhanger. It literally ends where the second chapter ends in the Sega CD version, clearly setting up for a sequel that apparently never came. So I thought it was interesting. It was cool to experience it anyway, because like I said, I'm such a big fan of the game. So it feels like like I said, I don't know if the PC Engine version has that as well, but at least the Sega CD version was almost like the 1.5, where there was never a sequel, never a proper sequel. Police Knots was a follow-up, but not a sequel.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, I finished that. So now, Phil.
Yeah.
One of the next games I'm going to be playing is Zack McCracken.
Oh.
Which I've never played.
You know what? Neither have I, actually.
Really? I assumed you would have played it.
I have. That is one of the LucasArts games that has slipped through my crack. It
kind of exists in that weird middle area where it's you're right in your crack, where it's between Maniac Mansion but before Monkey Island and so
yeah, I played the original Maniac Mansion, played Day of the Tentacle, played the Monkey Islands, played Sam and Max, played the Grim Fandango, and
all of those were pretty much early 90s, right?
Yeah.
So
played Fate of Atlanta. You know what?
Oh yeah, Fate of Atlantis.
You know what? I didn't play the Dig.
I played the Dig years ago when they re-released it.
Really?
That was one of the earlier old adventure games that they re-released on Steam.
Yeah, Dana played through the Dig. What
was the thing with that? Was Spielberg involved in the Dig?
Yeah. Was he?
I think so.
It was like an Amblin thing at the very least.
It might have been.
I don't know.
Didn't it start life as a script for a film?
You know what? That sounds familiar. That could very well be the case.
There was something.
I also never. Oh yeah, game was inspired by an idea originally created for Steven Spielberg's Amazing Stories, which was
written by Orson Scott Card.
Oh well, there you go. There you go. That's great.
Among other people.
I also never played Loom.
I never liked Loom. Couldn't get into that game. No.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
But anyway, so I'm moving on to that. I'm playing Deja Vu 2 first.
Yeah.
Which is another one that people are like, oh, I didn't even know there was a sequel to Deja Vu.
Yeah, it's called Deja Vu 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
So many of us experienced those games on the NES and not the Mac.
Deja Vu 2 Lost in New York.
Lost in Las Vegas.
I was close.
Were ya?
I was
so
close.
close.
I mean, New York is
mean-
a city.
A couple
I
thousand
mean-
miles away.
If you take the scale of the universe, they are practically on top of each other.
Oh, there you go.
So
Accurate.
that's just science.
But then after that, it's Zach McCracken. So
Zach
anyway,
McCracken.
yeah. But I was excited that I finished Snatcher. It was a long playthrough because WoW, the MSX load times were awful.
Oh, really?
It killed almost every scene that had any tension in it.
Well,
But
if you really
I'm
want to
glad I
do
finished
that, Greg, you should play the Sega CD Willy Beamish.
Oh, I know. I know.
Oh.
I lived it because that's how I played that game.
Yeah,
That's the only way I
exactly.
played that game.
Same here.
Oh, that was brutal.
Yes, it was.
Whole scenes grinding to a halt while the next sound effect loaded up.
Oh.
Oh, it was bad.
They had to give you a mini game to play during the
Mhm.
load screens.
Yep. Yeah,
It
you could
wasn't
hold
even-
the start button and it was like this little globe
Little-
spiral that you could
Little
control.
spheres, yeah, you can make them
And
wiggle around.
And I think they literally said in the manual, like, do this while you're waiting for things to happen. So,
The person who wrote the manual knew.
yeah, I need
Yeah.
to look that up, but I know that it was called out as sort of like a time waster. So,
Yeah,
but anyway, that's what I've been playing this week.
very
All right.
nice.
I think that means that it's time for a tweet.
Tweedly deedly dee. A tweedly deedly dee. Tweet. A tweet. A tweet. A tweedly deedly doo.
All right then. Yikes.
God, this slide.
All right. Let's do this one
Yep.
from Hacker Alias Headcase Games, who says, "What are you guys, quote, bad nerds about? For instance,
Oh.
I care nothing for Star Trek / Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter.
Okay.
I mean, obviously anything comic book related. I know nothing. I'm a very bad nerd about any of that stuff."
My comic book knowledge comes from comic book movies and television shows and subsequent Wikipedia searches on characters in those shows and movies. That's pretty much it. Oh, and some Chris Baker videos.
Oh, yeah. He does do good videos.
Yeah.
Also, I haven't watched The Last Jedi or Solo. I do enjoy Star
I've not seen
Wars,
Solo.
but I have not watched those.
I've learned that I don't care about Star Wars anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
think
still a
that's
huge
where
fan
I
of the
am,
first
too.
3 movies. Yeah, still a big fan of the first 3 movies. I couldn't tell you what happened in the last 2 Star Wars films.
I actually really liked The Force Awakens. I thought it was good.
I liked
Yeah.
it because it was a new Star Wars movie that didn't suck.
I guess that's part of it for sure.
I don't much care for video games.
As evidenced by this program, this
Ugh.
application.
What am I a bad nerd about? I like video games. I like Star Wars. I like Star Trek.
Yeah.
I read. I'm not like I don't read a ton of comics, but I do read some comic books.
Sure.
I
don't.
I haven't.
Unless they're Archies. Really into Archie comics. Just
Yeah.
Still?
No, I was back in the day.
Me too.
Did you
I
read?
used to buy the double digest
Double
every time I went
Digest.
to the store. Yep.
Yes.
Did you read Little Archie, where
I
he
don't
was a
think so.
kid?
I don't think so.
No, you never read the Little Archies.
No. Just the Double Digest.
A lot of literary nerd stuff. I am completely dumb about. Like I haven't read a lot of classic science fiction or fantasy.
Same. No.
So, which my wife is like way into that. You know, she reads.
Wasn't she a writer?
Oh, she is. Yeah.
Does she make references that just go completely over your head?
No, because she knows I'm dumb. So she.
That's true love right there.
Phil, you might understand this. It happened in the Lord of the Rings movie.
You haven't read The Lord of the Rings.
What the hell's a Tom Bombadil?
I've never read The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, you guys, come on.
I've read The Hobbit, but I've never read The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, The Hobbit's fantastic.
The Hobbit is fantastic.
The book The Hobbit ruined the Hobbit movies for me.
The movie The Hobbit ruined the Hobbit movies. Those Hobbit
Yeah.
movies are not good. I love
No?
I
hate
love
I never
the
saw
Lord of
them.
the Rings movies, but the Hobbit movies are
I never
it's
watched it.
Let's take a wonderful compact
yeah.
story and stretch it out into this ridiculous trilogy of foolishness.
Well, it's very obvious because Peter Jackson was not supposed to direct that. Well, first of
Right.
all, it was originally supposed to be 2 movies, I believe.
Uh-huh.
That
It
Guillermo
only ever needed to be one.
Well, that is also true. But Guillermo del Toro was supposed to direct 2 Hobbit movies. This is the way I understand it.
Mhm.
That at some point he dropped out, and the studio was like, "Well, we still going to get this done. Pete, you got to do these for us." And he was
And
like,
then
"Do I really
and,
gotta?" And the
and
studio
Peter
says,
Jackson
"Yes."
was in his Star Wars prequels phase where nobody would say no to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they said, "Oh, we have to make it 3," because I don't think it was Peter Jackson's idea to make it a trilogy.
God.
That might have been a studio mandate. I might be wrong. I'm no
You're a
Lindsay
bad nerd,
Ellis.
a bad nerd about Lord of the Rings, apparently.
It's true. I mean, I've seen the movies a few times and I really enjoy them.
My oldest daughter wants to watch the Lord of the Rings movies. I'm so excited.
Oh, good.
That'll be fun.
I can't wait to sit down
Good.
and
There you
watch.
go.
Yeah, I'm really
The
pumped for that.
greatest adventure
No, not
is
that one.
what
That's fine.
lies
You
ahead.
have to watch that on YouTube before.
Today
No, we
and
don't.
tomorrow have yet to be said.
All right, let's do this one. From
Rankin
Hacker Alias.
Bass.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this one from Hacker Alias. Real J Williams, who says it's August. Who's trading in their OG Switch for a version 2.0 Switch for the quality of life improvement of a longer lasting battery?
Improvement? That's not a good enough improvement for everything you lose.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you lose? Wait, what?
Lose the ability to use the
No.
Joy-Cons separately.
No.
And...
That's the light that you're talking about. This is the this is the slightly revised Switch hardware that comes out.
Screw that.
It's the same, but it has like double the battery life, 4.5 hours to 9 hours battery life in portable mode.
I don't think I've ever had my Switch die.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah, I don't play mine undocked enough to have that really be a problem.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because the Joy-Cons suck.
I don't agree with that. I play plenty of games.
I just mean I play too many games that I need a D-pad for, and not having a D-pad. I don't play.
No, I've never had a problem with the left Joy-Con using the buttons as the D-pad. That's just me though, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
I was watching.
I like the Pro Controller too. But...
I was hanging out with CJ's best friend Mike in our gym last night, and we had Evo running a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I don't ever watch. I don't know anything about the fighting game community.
And
I don't know the name of these controllers, but I saw one time ever, and it was literally. It looked like one of those arcade sticks you could buy, right? Like it's sort of a big, boxy, nice big button, arcade-style buttons on it.
Yeah.
But there was no joystick. It was literally an array of buttons for directions.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Huh.
It would be like playing a fighting game with a keyboard.
Interesting.
Oh.
I
was
do that.
amazed by it. I was amazed by it. Like,
yeah.
Wow, people can play it like that's incredible.
That is.
So
yeah.
I forget what they're called though.
Interesting.
But anyway, I'm just calling that out because I don't know why I thought of that, but because that's what the Switch D-pad is like for me.
Well, I'm waiting to hear, and I'm sure once people get their hands on it, like, are there any sort of undocumented improvements that, like once Digital Foundry gets their hands on it, I'm sure they'll tear into it and really tell us what the differences are.
To answer the question, no, I won't be trading them, but it's going to be a great year to buy a Switch if you don't have
that. Yeah. At least until the tariffs start. Let's see.
Wow.
Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Dancing Solo, who says, with Evo going on, what is your favorite fighting game to play, and what fighting games did you hate reviewing back in the day?
I think the only fighting game I ever was a Capcom game where it was like high school fighters.
Oh.
What, Rival Schools?
Rival Schools?
I think it was Rival Schools.
Okay.
Yeah.
United by Fate?
I love that you know that.
Oh yeah, Rival Schools United by Fate,
It's a pretty good game.
which is a really good game.
Yeah, no, it was a good game. Yeah.
I don't know if I ever reviewed a fighting game. I mean, I may have, but I
Definitely
don't
wasn't
recall.
the
We usually had people who were
good at fighting games review them.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just it. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You kind of needed that, right? Because unless it was like a fighting game that was meant to be really friendly to casual fighting game
Right.
fans,
Which at the time, the late 90s, early 2000s,
that
fighting
wasn't
games
happening.
were starting to peel away from being casual
Yeah.
friendly.
Yeah.
So I didn't review a lot of them
I
either.
probably reviewed a couple Mortal Kombats, but I liked Mortal Kombat, so
All right.
I'm sure I reviewed fighting games. I just don't know that I did any memorable ones because at the EGM office as well, like the big fighting game franchises had like their fans in the staff who would immediately request to be on those reviews.
Right.
Right.
Like especially Tekken and Soul
Mhm.
Calibur, right? Like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was not going to be put on the reviews for those games, so
Yeah, everyone was really into Soul Cali and Tekken.
yeah, I was a big Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting fan. Though, if we're talking about old school 16-bit fighting games, that was my jam. Street Fighter.
I did enjoy this. I still enjoy the Street Fighters, the old Street Fighter games. I haven't played much of 4, and I don't know if I've even touched 5.
I definitely haven't. I played some of 4.
Really?
One thing I haven't played those either, and yeah, I think for Street Fighter, the pinnacle of the Street Fighter franchise for me was probably Alpha 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I loved Alpha 2.
Alpha 2 is very good.
That was a good one. I remember when Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo came out on the 3DO. I played a lot of that too. Such a great port.
Yeah, it was.
And in fact,
that was the only way to play that at home at the time.
Yeah, that was the only way. And then around that time, Samurai Showdown came out on the 3DO as well, and
Which
that was
also gorgeous.
That was a pretty.
That was a good port as well. So, yes, it was.
I was pleased with both of
those.
those.
So weird.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, though, when we were watching Evo last night, the new Samurai Showdown was on there. We were watching that competition. That game is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It looks so beautiful. Like, yeah, it's really, really, really pretty. As far as SNK Fighters, though, I was much more of a King of Fighters. King of Fighters 95, 96, I was a big fan.
I never really got into the SNK Fighters. I don't know.
I loved them.
I don't know why. Just kind of.
They're good. I never got into them as much, but I did like what I played of the King of Fighters games and mainly just the King of Fighters.
Yeah.
Like all like World Heroes and all that.
I didn't like this sort of the single series.
No.
The fighting system in King of Fighters was great. So.
Yeah.
And then I mean, 3D stuff, I was really into all the Sega Fighters. So
it was a good fighting game.
What's that?
That no one remembers
Way
these
of the Warrior?
days.
I know, right?
Yeah, we've already the pool of premonition of man over here.
This is too much for Discord.
I like that you were cutting in and out.
Yeah. It sounded like you were cursing. Let's look at
It did. That was good.
White Zombie providing the soundtrack.
Well, Discord knows that it's a copyrighted music.
That must be it. That's clearly what's happening here.
Clearly, their voice recognition is just that good.
Man. Shaky Jake wins.
Shaky Jake.
I liked that game. I convinced myself that I liked that game.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't actually like
digitized fighting game that was around the same time.
Kasumi Ninja?
Kasumi Ninja. That's
you think of Kasumi Ninja?
The guy with the kilt that
pulls
it up and
the kilt and fired the firewall.
Why?
Oh man.
Let's have a sequel to that.
No, I was thinking of a Dreamcast game. And boy, let me tell you, if you want a video game system that has a lot of good fighting games,
Dreamcast, yeah.
Dreamcast
Saturn?
up there. Well, Saturn and Sega clearly followed that up with the Saturn. But Capcom, there was a Capcom fighting game on Dreamcast called Tech Romancer.
Necromancers.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Yeah.
And it was like mechs. It was
I
all.
think I may have reviewed that game too. Actually, no.
That game was fantastic. That was a really good game, and nobody remembers poor Techromancer these days.
I think also on the Dreamcast was where Capcom.
That is where Capcom went completely silent.
Oh,
And didn't say anything, not even static, just stopped
so
making.
that's where Dreamcast was for Capcom versus SNK.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
which
right.
is awesome. I played that again recently,
Do
and
you
I've forgotten
remember?
just how good that is.
Do you remember, Greg? And I'm sure you do. That there was a special cable that you could purchase for the Dreamcast
Yep.
that allowed you to connect your Neo Geo Pocket Color to your Dreamcast.
Yes.
Yep.
And there was some sort of it unlocked something. I forget exactly what it did.
Yeah, there's an interconnectivity there for something.
Yeah.
For a few
For
games
Capcom
too,
versus
like
SNK,
more than one game.
I want to say Sonic had something as well.
Oh, did it really?
I want to say
There
it
was
did, but I'm
some
not sure.
rhythm
Because Sonic
game from
Pocket.
SNK too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember the name of, but
Yeah, I don't have one of those
Yeah.
cables, but I do remember that.
Yep. I may have one of those cables somewhere.
yeah.
I have a bin in my storage unit that is just this giant Rubbermaid bin that is full of weird ass third party accessories
How did this
For-
get here?
for like 8-bit through like N64 level stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just weird crap.
Hmm.
I should just drag it back here someday, and we'll spend an episode just going through it, trying to figure out what
Yeah.
all this
It'd be
garbage
like,
was.
Storage Wars or something.
Oh, perfect. Yes.
Gonna open up Al Capone's vault.
Except I just except I throw all the garbage away when I'm done with it because
yeah.
I'm never gonna use it.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do this one from hacker alias Froyog Soft Serve, who says, "Favorite underrated game of the 16-bit era? Question mark. Mine was Faceball 2000 on the SNES. My friend and I spent hours playing the 2-player versus mode. So much fun.
CG's was Stunt FX.
Stunt Race FX.
Oh,
I really liked that game. I got like gold medals on every
So
track.
bad.
Isn't
that
that
game was
weird?
not good. That game was not good.
No, and the funny thing is, I've gone back to it since, and I don't know how I played that game. It runs at like 10 frames a second, if that, and it's terrible. But back in the day, I finished that game and got golds and everything.
That's how I felt about when I went back to Generation 16 and did an episode on hard driving.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man, I had hard driving for my Genesis back when it was new, and I played the hell out of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just endlessly and there was no content. Like there was one track in that game. But my friends and I played it and just were shaving off time. And I went back and said, this is damn near unplayable.
Yeah.
Like it's just not. It's really well done for the time, but it's not.
Oh,
really
that's what technology was at the time, though.
Yeah.
You know, that's the pinnacle at the time.
The funny thing is, I mean, there are all these discussions on message boards all the time, but about like the NES library not being something you can come back to and play these days or whatever. And I always sort of laugh at those because back in the day, like we got around what we would judge now as terrible control. It was just a different time, right? Like
right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the movie audiences in the 1920s getting freaked out when there's a train on the screen coming at them.
Sure.
You know, because they think it's going to burst into the movie theater and run over them.
It's like
sick when they saw The Exorcist.
It's like laughing at a video, like a commercial for a 2600 game where people are saying how realistic the sports game is, and it's like Space Invaders football. It's like, that was what was available at the time, though. Like we played that because that was the way to play that kind of game. But anyway,
I'd play Space Invaders football.
Okay, Real Sports Football. It's on Atari 2600. Go get it.
Well, it's Space Invaders football.
Well, yeah.
Which is what you said.
They look like Space Invaders. They look like the sprite. The sprite on the thing.
Sprite on the thing.
You know what I'm talking about.
This is what made you such a good producer.
The sprite on the thing.
Put
No,
put more sprites on the
Put
thing.
the sprite on that thing.
That's right. Yep. That's why I was so successful as a video game producer.
I've been looking over Mr. Johnston's
Tighten up the
game
graphics
design
on level
document,
3. Yeah.
and it just says,
Oh, hurry up! The boss is coming in.
better get those sprites on the things,
Right.
so he can let us go home.
So, yep.
That commercial is now old enough that you make that tighten up the graphics on level 3 reference, even if you're in a video game environment and nobody gets it.
Yeah.
What about it's time to slay the dragon?
Oh yeah, about time.
Oh God.
Time to slay the dragon.
Yeah. There's no good copy of that commercial on YouTube. It's a tragedy.
Oh,
That's
really?
Yeah.
That's a shame.
I mean, there's there's ones that are like smashed and they look terrible.
Right.
But
That was I'm blanking on the name of that game. It was that MMO for EverQuest. Yeah, that's Sony MMO.
It's fitting that there's no good copy of that commercial because the version of the game that commercial was for doesn't exist anymore anyway.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
That's true. That's true.
So, did we talk about underrated games of the 16-bit era enough?
I would say Batman Returns on the Genesis.
Ooh.
Exactly. Such a good game. You just don't know.
Game is stinky garbage. If you want a good Batman Returns game, might I direct you to the Super Nintendo Entertainment System?
Nope. Disagree.
Where there's an actual good Batman.
You know what the problem with that game was?
It looked nice and played too well.
Good.
It didn't play too well. That was the problem.
Oh, it did. I actually, you know what? I
played
played that.
Streets of Rage 2 existed. That game did not play well.
I played that game a couple weeks ago. I was playing some Batman Returns on the SNES, and I was still having loads of fun.
No, it's much more accessible, and it does look fantastic.
Yeah,
it sounds fantastic. And the Genesis game looks like garbage. It sounds like garbage.
Yeah,
and it plays really well if you give it a chance. Which you can hum all you want. The question is underrated games on 16-bit consoles, and the one for me.
All right, then. All right then.
Okay.
You can fill it. You can fill as much as you want, but that was a good answer to the question.
A while ago, I would probably have said Demon's Crest on the Super Nintendo, but that game kind of has had a bit of a resurgence in recent years.
People who don't even know that game love it.
Yeah, people are waking up to it and kind of realizing, oh yeah, game that nobody played back in the day.
But they should play through Gargoyle's Quest.
Well, that is also true. You know what? I will also go to bat for, and Greg knows I have an odd love of this game. I still really dig Zany Golf on Genesis.
Golf,
That's another one, though. Yeah, that's one that you try to play that nowadays.
It's
hard to play.
Well, I mean, even back in the day, it was kind of laggy and kind of crap frame rate. But but I just because it's a mini golf game with whimsically inventive holes, and I had a lot of fun with it just because of the creative nature of it. I like the look of it, even if it does chug along at like 5 frames a second, and I adore the music. That's Zany Golf has one of my favorite soundtracks in video gamedom.
Will Harvey's Zany Golf.
That's the one.
Who would go on to create the Immortal, which was like one of the bloodiest games.
I know, right? That's
the game. Like, you look at Mortal Kombat, and then you play the Immortal first. It's like, Mortal Kombat feels kind of tame.
And oh gosh, I'm blanking on who did the soundtrack to that. I'm looking it up right now.
I don't know.
Because I used to know.
I don't think it was.
Douglas Fulton.
Yeah. Okay.
It was Douglas Fulton did the soundtrack to that. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's wrap it up with this tweet from hacker alias TechDan3000, who says, "I was wondering what factors motivate you guys to complete a game rather than just finish it. For me, games like Mario 64 and Odyssey keep me coming back to chip away, whereas games like Metroid, I'm happy just to see the end." So
I'm the complete opposite.
I'm not concerned with getting 100% on anything. Like, as long as I see the end, that's gonna be just about it for me on most games.
Good Metroid style game, I obsess over filling out the map.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, that has to happen.
Yeah.
But like Mario or anything, like those games, I love them. But once I'll go above and beyond maybe what you need to finish to get the ending.
Yeah.
But I'm not working at it forever to try to get the
No.
last shine or the last star. Nope, not happening.
As much as I love Zelda Breath of the Wild, I am not going to collect the 200 of those little
No.
blue things or whatever. No.
Hmm.
Not really a fan of that. I mean, I appreciate that stuff is there for the people that want it, because obviously some people do enjoy getting, like, wringing every
Sure.
ounce of entertainment out of a game. But I am just not. I am not that player, says the person who wants all the special time limited cosmetics in Sea of Thieves. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm compelled to like 100% complete a game when I was like 20 years younger and didn't have a full-time job and didn't have a family and could spend time doing that.
Sure.
So
for me, not
yeah.
even then. Not even then. Like,
Really?
getting like all the Chaos Emeralds in a Sonic game or whatever was something that I used a Game Genie for.
See, I did that. I got all the Chaos Emeralds.
See, I feel like that's different though, because even when you're getting all the Chaos Emeralds in Sonic, the hard part of that is not how much time it takes.
Right.
The hard part of that is the skill and luck needed to get them all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. But it's still like a 20-minute endeavor.
Yeah.
But for me nowadays, it's like, you know, if you're playing, I don't know if they do this in Grand Theft Auto anymore, but like with Grand Theft Auto 3, I think there was like 100 hidden packages all throughout the map.
Sure.
There's no way I was doing that, because that was hours of searching and I was not doing it.
Yeah.
But like games like Crackdown 3 that have like races and things, like always in these open world games, there's usually one mechanic that I don't really enjoy doing, that I won't chip away
Yeah.
at.
Right. Right.
I'll do the minimum of that type of mission I need to do to get the next thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think just looking from, I don't know if you guys do this, but I do this. Look at the achievements for some games and the trophy list for some games, and just look at the percentage of the people who like finish a game or get even halfway through. Like, I think most people don't consume games in that way to wring every ounce of entertainment value out of them. But good on you, Tech Dan 3000, for doing that. I mean, that's why the developers do that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. All right. We done? I think we are.
Oh, are we?
Are we? What?
I don't even know anymore.
Alrighty then, and that is our... Wait, is that how I finished the show? Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. If you have any questions for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitters. Thank you very much for listening to this episode. I didn't say that. I didn't thank everybody. I just want a heartfelt thanks to our listeners out there for surviving this first non-Hangouts on Air episode.
Oh boy.
But anyway, if you go to our internet website at playeronepodcast.com, you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD, stuff from a man whose desk is rising into the stratosphere right now, Mr. Greg Seward.
Yes.
If
there he is.
Stand up to deliver that answer, yeah. You'll also find Generation 16 episodes.
Yeah, I'm still working on the next one. Lots of research on this one, so it's taking a little longer than I want, but I think it'll be cool when it's done.
All right. Very cool. And you will find show notes and links to the things that we talked about in this episode, including a link to our Discord server.
Oh, right.
You know that application, that app?
There's
Discord?
that, yeah.
Where you can talk about video games, you can talk about all sorts of things. You can talk about this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting playeronepodcast.com or by loading up the Apple Podcast program. You can also load up the Apple App Store, where you will find the Player One Podcast iPhone application, which can be yours for just $1.99.
Cheap.
Gives you one-touch communication with us via the emails, the Twitters, the what have you. You also have all of our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android cell phone, telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application is available for your listening device as well for that same $1.99.
Also cheap.
You can find that over there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're also on Stitcher Radio. We're on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook if you want. We are. You can head over to the youtubes.com/P1 podcast and watch archives of a whole heck of a lot of our old episodes. And I guess this is
half of the run we've done on YouTube.
Maybe half of the run.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Long time.
I don't know. Go count it yourselves. We got no time for that.
Unless you're a patron, and then we'll count it for you.
Yeah.
Greg will count it for you. It's no problem. You can do that. We can also watch us live, assuming this Discord thing continues to work, right?
Or maybe we'll switch it up. Maybe we'll use Skype next week.
Maybe we'll switch. Hey, remember,
We
always got the mixer ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Always
That
ready with
sweet,
the mixer.
Sweet mixer cash.
Yeah, making that green. The cabbage is what the kids say. Making that techno cabbage.
Okay.
Hey, if you like what you've heard, and how could you? You can head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. Well, look at CJ. He's in a big empty room still.
It's true. He's destitute.
We got to get some stuff on those walls. CJ needs some nice artwork to hang up.
Yeah.
Maybe a sconce.
A sconce. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Ooh, that's classy.
Help CJ.
Nothing says class like a good sconce.
We're gonna put that towards the sconce fund. Okay. So send your Patreon dollars your way. And hey, it's not just all sconces and wine over at the Johnston household. Your Patreon support will also, if you are a $5 supporter, will get you access to a special bonus episode every week. After Hours Player One podcast, we just about every. Like 98%. I think we missed we missed
one or
2 weeks.
And there were one or two of them that were really bad too. That was early on.
We got better.
Yeah.
By a certain definition of better.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, we play games, we have fun, we crack wise. Well, it's whatever. What are we doing this week, CJ? Give us a sneak peek.
No sneak peek.
Clearly it's going to be one of the good ones.
This will be one of the wreck week. This is going to be a true.
Please look forward to it, $5 patrons.
Yeah,
we appreciate your support. Hey, you know what? If you have a couple bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com. You will find the Patreon link to help support Greg Stewart's outstanding web series about North America's favorite second band of the Sega Genesis. He's already covered Zany Golf, folks. Go watch that episode.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good episode.
Oh, and hey, Gregory.
Yo.
I'm gonna give you a special shout out this week.
Oh.
Tell us about your cake. Gregor into cake.
Yes.
Gregor into cake this week. Tell us about your cake.
Longtime listeners in the show will know that I've been raising money for Extra Life now for 9 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Little over $50,000 raised for the IWK Health Center.
Holy crap!
Here in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
That you raised.
Yeah.
That you obviously you have like tons of generous, wonderful donors, but that 50 grand was from just your stream.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
That's mind blowing, dude.
It's pretty great. And Yeah. Also, earlier this year, I passed 1,000 donations made.
Nice.
So, and I've known people over at the IWK Foundation for quite a while now. Because I used to be the president of the guild here and everything like that. So, that kind of came and went, and that was cool and whatever. So I was sitting in a meeting at work the other day, and I hear this little voice asking, "Is Greg Seward in here?" And I turned around, and there was a little guy there asking for me. His name is Van, and he is the Children's Miracle Network champion for 2019 for the IWK. Which, if you don't know what that is, every Children's Miracle Network hospital every year designates a champion. One of their patients gets to be a champion, and that's in the U.S. and Canada. And I don't know if it's worldwide, but it's at least in North America.
So when you say a little guy, it's like legitimately a
He's
kid.
A kid. Yeah.
Okay.
Kid named Van. And they get to go. I think in Canada, part of it is they first go to Ottawa to meet the Prime Minister, and then they all get to go down to Disney World. They're all down to Disney World with their families. I think they shut the park down so that all the champions can go in and enjoy the park. And then they have these great events at the hotel. The main what am I trying to say? Like conference hotel that they have there, where they all get on stage and they're introduced, and there's a huge crowd that claps for them, and it's a really, really great event. Anyway,
and then to cap it all off, they get to go meet Greg Seward.
Yeah. So anyway, it was Van, and I turn around and it's that's me, and I look, and there's a couple of my contacts from the IWK stand, and there with a cake. That was it was a congratulatory cake for my 1,000 plus donations.
That's awesome.
It was pretty great. Yeah, I was very moved, and it was cool too. I love meeting the kids at the various events, and Van he's a big Switch gamer.
Oh, nice.
So we talked about games for a while. He's really into basketball, and when he found out that the office that I work in, we have a designated area for gaming and stuff like that, he was totally blown away by that. So
awesome.
Nice.
He just wanted to sit there and chat about video games, so it was really cool. Yeah, and then thank you so much to him and to the IWK and to the hundreds of very generous donors that I have every year donating their money. Like I say, 50,000. It's nothing to sneeze at.
No, absolutely not.
So, and we're going for 10,000 again this year, which is why I stream 3 nights a week.
I mean, that money, you could probably hire Ninja to for an hour.
Yeah.
So,
well, not an hour, maybe 60 seconds.
Well, I don't know. If you told him it was for charity, he might do it just for the good work and the $50,000.
Yeah, maybe.
But no, that is pretty outstanding, Greg. So
yeah, it was awesome. I was totally
on you
shocked.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now let me ask you this: was the cake any good?
It was delicious.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that. How great would it have been?
It was just the worst cake ever.
If they cut the cake and you're just like, I don't really like chocolate.
It was or it was like the turkey in Christmas.
I was hoping for funfetti, but I guess this will do. But no, that's great. And what's your Twitch channel?
Twitch.tv/Seward.
Excellent.
Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern.
So go watch, go donate.
Go watch.
Yeah, please do.
How about the kids, for crying out loud? Greg wants another cake, is basically what this is all about. Greg doesn't even... He doesn't care much for children, but I know Greg, and that man loves his cake. So he's got a few more years to go. Christopher.
Christopher.
You've been waiting all night for that.
Oh my God. Oh, my stupid waveform. Just little.
Yeah, mine's over now too.
It's just little. Yep. Oh, it's beautiful. Yep. It's the funniest thing you've ever done on this show, Chris.
Well, thank you.
I
Phil.
love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
Compliment. Thank you.
Thank you, CJ, for joining us.
Thank you,
Thank
Phil,
you
for
for setting up.
for
Discord.
hopping on Discord and trying
Yes.
this
Never
out.
seen it here again.
Trying
I
out this
actually
great
remembered
experiment.
I remembered my password and everything.
Amazing.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yo.
Thank you so much
Thank you, Phil.
for that. And of course, thank you to all of our wonderful listeners. We apologize if the show sounds a
whole
little
week,
wonky
really.
this
It's
week.
gonna sound wonky. Yeah.
We're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Please forgive us. Please forgive us.
We'll do
Blame
better next week.
YouTube.
Yeah,
Will
blame
we?
YouTube for deprecating the Hangout on air feature.
And of course, next week, the devil arrives. The devil. 666.
It's the
Next
beast.
week, we did it.
It's the
We
beast.
did it.
We got to it.
Time to unleash the beast next week on the Player One Podcast. See you next week, folks.
Later.
Bye.
Unless you're a Patreon supporter, and we'll see you in a couple minutes.
Bye.